So if a fly didn't have any wings, would it be called a walk? That's it. Doesn't have any wings. I'll see anything around. So there's a video or two, one in particular anyway, that is making its way around the interwebs here these days about Sweetwater. So I thought I would share my thoughts because a lot of people seem to think that all of a sudden Sweetwater is going to go downhill, et cetera, et cetera. And a lot of people are concerned about that because a lot of people love Sweetwater. I'll be honest with you, I've never bought so much as a set of strings from Sweetwater. I've been up there a time or two. It's only about an hour and a half north of here, so I mean it's not that long of a drive. I've been up there a time or two, but the truth is I am a real hard sell for them, and the reason why is because I work for a competitor of theirs, and for them to be able to match what I can buy most anything through my employer through is very, very difficult for them, and quite honestly probably doesn't even make any sense for them anyway. That said, I do absolutely respect what they do and respect the business that they have built. There's a lot of happy customers out there. So hats off to them for that. Here is the thing, as I understand it anyway. They, Chuck Surak, the CEO of Sweetwater, has sold out to an investment firm called Providence, I forgot the name of them. Providence Investment Group? Is that what they're called? Providence Equity Partners. Providence Equity Partners, obviously out of Providence, Rhode Island. Here's my take on it. Don't panic yet. Yes, it is. You'd be foolish not to assume that some things are not going to change. Some things are probably going to change, though I don't think you're going to see anything immediate. So if you're loyal to Sweetwater and you buy all of your gear there, and they usually hook you up and give you a pretty good deal on just about everything that you buy, prepare to start paying more for your gear. Period. End of story. That's just a reality. And here's why. No investment company comes in and buys, especially a large company like Sweetwater, buys out a large company or invests in a large company like Sweetwater with the intention of changing nothing and not making it more profitable. So, first things first, they are, Providence Equity Partners are there to make Sweetwater more profitable. I don't know what, I don't know what they're planning on trying to do, but I think it's pretty clear that they want to expand. And here's why. I'm going to assume that they're going to try to expand in some other markets around the globe, such as the European market, kind of become a little bit more of a thorn in the side of Amazon UK, Tolman's, Anderton's, those places over there. There's a lot of business to be had over there, and, I can't blame Sweetwater if they decide they want a chunk of it. Maybe they're wanting to move into the, more the brick and mortar side of the industry here in the U.S. I think it'd be insane if they did that, especially in the times that we're in right now. But who knows? Maybe maybe they've got a long-term plan that won't prove to be so insane after all. So whatever it is that they're up to, whatever it is they're wanting to do is they're wanting to expand. They did not sell because they're hurting. They're not. According to some of my sources, they had probably the best year in their history in 2020, as a lot of musical instrument retailers did. Sweetwater being primarily an online retail company, they cleaned up as well, if not better than anybody else. So, they reported solid earnings for at least the last 5 years. So they're not hurting. They're not hurting at all. They just built a giant warehouse, another giant warehouse on their property. So they're clearly intending to expand somehow. They want to expand inventory, expand, markets. I'm not sure, but they're clearly wanting to expand. Now, Chuck Surek is a very, very business-savvy individual, very intelligent guy, and knows a whole lot about how to acquire funds when funding when necessary, and moving things around, and very, very savvy about that. He did this once before, actually. And he sold the company to another investment firm while still maintaining his status as majority shareholder. And, ran it that way for 3, 4, 5 years, basically allowed that investment firm to pump their money into his company, bought it back from him after a few years once he suddenly had a lot more capital to work with. And then, now the company was worth a whole lot more, and he was able to use that to expand at that time. I think that's what he's doing again here. Hence my theory earlier about him wanting to maybe go over and work his way into the European markets. It makes sense. Like I said, there's a lot of business to be had. Over there, the musicians over there in over in Europe, they're all familiar with Sweetwater at this point. It only makes sense for them to have a presence over there as well. And that would be pretty big if he made it happen, because I don't know that there's any other American MI retailers that have a presence over there. Even the big boys, even Guitar Center Musician's Friend. They can sell to customers over there, of course, just anybody else can, but nobody has any stores or warehouses or anything like that over there that I'm aware of. So they're going to get bigger. They're going to get bigger, and in doing so, that means that their profit margins are going to have to increase. So what that means is your discounts are also going to have to decrease. Again, that's just the reality. That's just the world we live in. Now, again, from a consumer perspective, are you going to see changes right away? Maybe not right away. You might see some small things going on here in the next few months. First of the year maybe. In the short term. In the long term, like I said, your discounts are probably going to be the first thing to take a hit. Regardless, beyond that, I wouldn't expect anything, especially from customer service level standpoint. I wouldn't expect anything like that to decrease. A lot of people are comparing this to the situation when Guitar Center was bought out by Bain Capital in 2007. Here's what happened with that. Same type of situation. Guitar Center, sold out to an investment firm for whatever reason. At that time, it was the Guitar Center was doing pretty well, but they wanted or needed to increase their profit margins. So they were bought out by Bain Capital. Fast forward to 2014, Bain Capital sold Guitar Center to another investment firm called Aris Management. When that happened, Bain Capital also happened to saddle Guitar Center with it was like 1.2 or like 1.7 billion dollars of Bain Capital's debt. So, part of the sale of Guitar Center from Bain Capital to Aris Management included a huge, gargantuan-sized chunk of Bain Capital's debt. And, that's, they saddled Guitar Center with that, and that's been, it's been a huge thorn in their side ever since, and obviously it's caused a lot of problems for a lot of people. That's topic for a different video. But, a lot of people think that was the beginning of the if there was a downfall. You all know that I happen to support Guitar Center, and, I worked for them for a long, long time as a manager in one of their stores, and Guitar Center's always been very, very good to me. So, I've been critical of them in the past when necessary. As recently as just a couple of weeks ago when they shipped me a used pedal on a plastic envelope, but overall I'm a strong supporter of Guitar Centers despite the problems. Like I said, they've been very, very good to me, and I'm very grateful for that. But when all the corporate buyout stuff started to happen, that's when a lot of people feel that, things began to change for Guitar Center, and not necessarily for the better. So, I don't think that's going to happen here with Sweetwater. If you're a diehard loyal Sweetwater customer, I think Chuck is maintaining enough of a grip on the operations of the company that he's not going to let anything bad like that happen. Seems like the kind of guy that would do that anyway. So I would not be concerned about that. And while I'm at it, Mesa Boogie still seems to be doing just fine as well, and they even now have their product not only back into Guitar Center, but even on Guitar Center's website, which was the one thing I was hoping would happen with that buyout, because Mesa Boogie always had really, really strict rules over which stores could carry their product, and and how, like I said, I think they didn't want any stores within like a 75-mile radius, not just stores within the same chain, but stores period within like a 75-mile radius of each other. Mostly for fear of they didn't want to be in a situation where they're competing against themselves. That's the strategy behind it. But now that they've been bought out by Gibson, now a lot of their dealers are suddenly going to have a lot more access. Going to have access to a lot more products. And Mesa Boogie is going to have a lot more. There's going to be a lot more places that carry Mesa. So, I think that's a good thing. Especially for people who like Mesa Boogie amplifiers, which I happen to. Especially for people who happen to like Mesa Boogie amplifiers, of which I happen to be one of those people. So, corporate, big business, corporate buyout things are not always a bad thing. This and the Sweetwater thing, I think is only it's going to make them bigger and better and stronger. I think it's going to give a lot more people access to Sweetwater and their levels of customer service for those that would like to experience it. And yeah. So nothing to worry about, nothing to panic about, none of that stuff. Be positive. Let's wait until the sky falls before we start screaming that the sky is falling. So here's me, in my opinion. Comment down below. Let me know your opinion. Subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next video.